Welcome into Perspective, episode 2. Here we go. I just rewatched episode 1. I'm probably going to rewatch every past episode before each episode, so I know what I did, what I just talked about, so we don't re-talk about stuff. But Saturday afternoon, I have just finished mowing my lawn. I did a crisscross pattern this time instead of just the straight lines. So we'll see if my wife likes it when she's home in about 5 minutes. It's a beautiful Saturday afternoon. It was supposed to rain all day, and it did not. So we've had a lot of rain here in Texas, and we kind of got a break today. It's a little warm today, though. It's a little warm, getting hot again. So, yeah. And how I am be back on here. Third day in a row to see my face. I'm sure you're tired of me, but do not worry. Lord willing, next week we'll be back to our regularly scheduled only 2 doses of Logan. I think I forgot to start this on Patreon. Whoops. There. Now we're rocking and rolling. All right. Anyway, Perspective episode 2. What I'm going to do today is just kind of give you a little life update. I don't have a ton to talk about, but this is kind of an intimate group that are going to see this. This is the top tiers of Patreon only, so I will get deeper sometimes. I might today. You just have to find out. We'll see. As far as my life goes, life's good. Courtney and I are enjoying. We are approaching at the end of this year. We've been married for 2 years, which is crazy. So about a year, I guess exactly a year and a half. You know what? We'll have been married a year and a half in less than a week. So it's telling me right now my connection is unstable. So I apologize ahead of time for whatever you're seeing or not seeing. Man. Okay. That thing went away now. Anyway. So back to life. My daughter, for those of you who really know me, you know that she's legally my stepdaughter. We don't use that word. I don't like that word. She's my daughter. But we have just started for the summer only 50-50 with her and her dad. And so that's been a little tough. That started, today's literally the first day, and I'm already saying it's tough. So, but that's such as life, right? I'm full of ups and downs. And I guess that's kind of where I want to go for a second. These won't be long because I don't really like talking about myself. Sometimes I do, but right now I'm not feeling it, to be perfectly honest. But what I want to do is I want to kind of provide you a perspective of how I'm approaching this difficult time. The way I'm doing it is what I told my dad this afternoon. Ultimately, God's in control. It's really difficult to remind myself of that. But ultimately, at the end of the day, God is in control. When I talk to him, I just have to ask that he does the best thing for my daughter, and I know he will. And I ask that he does the best for me, knowing what to do and knowing what to say. And I know he'll do that. And so that's. I know there's other people going through similar things. Going through, well, what am I going to do about this? What are my kids going to think about this? What's my spouse going to think about this? How am I going to handle this? At the end of the day, God's in control. Plain and simple. So that's a little bit of what I'm going through on the dad front, which is not great, not fun. So sorry for the downer of an episode so far. But hey, sometimes our perspective is, it's not good. But it's what we make of it. What are we making of what we're dealt? I know maybe not a lot. I know some Christians who do not think gambling, who straight up think gambling is a sin. We can have that discussion later. I actually don't know Zach's opinion on that. So Zach, chime in if you're listening. But at any rate, what was I going with that? Something about playing poker. You have to play the hand you're dealt, right? In life and in everything. When you play poker, sometimes you have a bad hand and you just have to fold. Sometimes you have a really good hand and or you think you have a really good hand and it turns out somebody else has a little bit better and you lose. Sometimes you have a good hand and you fold it, and there's all kinds of outcomes. But we have to play the hand we're dealt. We don't get to pick and choose. God's the dealer. And, sometimes we don't get a good hand, and that's okay. It's those times people like to blame others or blame God. But we've got to play the hand we're dealt. That's all I've got for today. Play the hand you're dealt. There you go. I appreciate you listening to this. I appreciate everyone who's listening. And I pray that you're a blessing to somebody and that somebody's a blessing to you. And thank you for taking the time to be with me for a second. Hope you have a great weekend.